In this video, I'm going to react to the US military's next generation laser weapons. Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Kabir Considers. This is the place where I react to music, media, sports, anime, anything related to popular culture. I'll watch it with an open mind and give you my 100% honest reaction to it. And if you could please hit that like button early, I'd really appreciate it. Now, this is gonna be mind-blowing because first of all, I didn't even realize that we had laser weapons now. I mean, it's literally like we're living in the future. I mean, laser weapons, I thought that it was like, that was still like the stuff of fiction. Like I remember in like the Star Wars films and Star Trek, you know, they'd have those little little laser guns, that little pew, 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 pew. But to think that we're kind of approaching that now, it's just gonna be really like, just to see what we have, just to see what the US military has now, because obviously the US military spends the most on its R&D, the most on its military worldwide by quite some distance. So they're at the cutting edge. So just to see what, you know, we have now, what's the state of the art, is gonna be fascinating. So let's go. There's gonna be me reacting to the US military's next generation laser weapons. Let's do it.
Laser weapons, coming soon to F-35, F-15, and F-16s. On April 23rd, the Air Force Research Laboratory tested a fiber optic laser at the White Sands Test Range in New Mexico that successfully shot down multiple air-launched missiles in flight.
So how do they work? Do they heat the target? Like whatever it's aimed at, it just heats it to the point of that target just fails. It either melts or explodes. I wonder what the science behind it is.
The Self-Protect high-energy laser demonstrator currently exists as a bulky ground-based demonstrator. However, the Air Force is optimistic that Self-Protect high-energy laser can be shrunk to a small pod that could be tested on an F-15 fighter by this year and eventually integrated into F-16 and F-35 single-engine fighters.
Wow.
If airborne lasers prove as viable and effective as expected, then future laser weapons could profoundly transform aerial warfare by increasing the survivability of fighters, bombers, and even tankers and transport planes to deadly anti-aircraft missiles.
Yeah, I imagine having lasers would be advantageous because, you know, a laser, apart from the machine that powers the laser, it doesn't fire any munitions. So you don't have to consider any weight of munitions. It's just it's light that it's throwing out. So it would save on a lot of weight, a lot of you know, dry mass that has to be carried by the aircraft.
Further down the line, lasers could eventually serve as very fast and precise air-to-air and air-to-ground weapons with virtually unlimited magazines. This article will look at the strengths, limitations, and implications of aerial laser weapons, then look at 3 aerial laser weapon initiatives currently being pursued by the Pentagon. Laser weapons are growing rapidly in prominence, from small arms and tank-mounted laser dazzlers used by China to ground or helicopter-mounted anti-drone and missile lasers tested by the Army and close defense systems on U.S. Navy ships. Lasers possess the advantage of exceptional speed — it's hard to beat the speed of light — stealth and precision, as well as extremely low cost per shot and virtually unlimited magazines. However, lasers require a lot of power to remain coherent over long distances, are subject to decreased effectiveness in hazy atmospheric conditions, generate thermal buildup that may require cooling, and until recently have required bulky power sources. Self-Protect high-energy laser is foremost a defensive active protection system designed to destroy or disrupt incoming air-to-air and surface-to-air missiles. Currently, long-range missiles like Russia's 48N6 surface-to-air missile or R-37 air-to-air missile can threaten vulnerable support radar and tanker planes from over 200 miles away. While 4th and 5th generation jet fighters only become visible on radar at much shorter ranges, their odds of evading more maneuverable short-range missiles are thought to be as low as 20 to 30%.
Wow.
Though lasers
20 to 30%, that is a quite a vulnerability that I'm sure the military is working hard to eradicate, should I say.
Lasers lack a kinetic pushback effect. Even a relatively weak laser could, in theory, quickly and precisely disrupt or destroy the sensitive optical guidance systems of incoming missiles. More powerful lasers could damage missile flight control fins or even thermally trigger warheads. More powerful lasers could also be readily adaptable offensive weapons targeting other aircraft and even surface targets. As lasers could potentially do double duty as sensor systems, these could allow for very rapid engagement times. Of course, effective range and the number of seconds of sustained burn required to achieve destructive effects will be important factors in determining a laser system's effectiveness.
Absolutely. Like, there's no real point in having a laser that takes, 10 minutes for it to heat the target to the point of the target's destruction. It needs to be quite fast, because compared to traditional weapons, you fire the weapon, as soon as the weapon impacts the target's obliterated. There's no point, the laser would need to at least match the speed of destruction of the target, for it to be viable. Like, otherwise there's no point, because I imagine they're really, really expensive as well.
Furthermore, a laser can only engage one target at a time and must be mounted in such a way that it can draw a direct line of fire to potential targets. Nonetheless, a laser would have virtually unlimited ammunition, would be nearly impossible to dodge, and could be useful for attempting precise, non-lethal, or low collateral damage attacks on material.
Wow, did you see that hole?
And vehicle targets. This last point explains why the special operations community is slowly working towards deploying 60 kilowatt lasers on its AC-130J Ghost Rider gunships. Lasers could significantly increase the survivability of both stealth and non-stealth fighters when operating in denied airspace, forcing enemies to expend more missiles to oversaturate defenses. Energy weapons could also provide a badly needed close layer of defense for deep penetrating stealth bombers like the B-2 Spirit or forthcoming B-21. Currently, the B-2 relies in...
Has there been any video footage of the B-21? I've not seen anything official. Like, if there has been, let me know in the comment section, because I'd love to see what it looks like.
Entirely on stealth for survivability and lack defenses against interceptors engaging them within visual range. Similarly, laser turrets installed on transport, tanker, or support planes could give these large and vulnerable aircraft a much better chance of surviving surprise missile attacks. If lasers are widely adopted, the current paradigm favoring stealth fighters with beyond visual range missiles may change, as many more missiles are needed to achieve a high probability of kill. This could incentivize more aggressive engagements, resulting in within visual range.
That is a sick shot of that plane. Hold on a minute. Hold on.
Kill.
Look at this.
This could incentivize more aggressive engagements, resulting in within visual range dogfights, possibly including laser-based attacks, which would not be easily outmaneuvered, intercepted, or decoyed. The Air Force's $155 million Self-Protect High-Energy Laser Demonstrator Program consists of three components. The Laser Advancements for Next-Generation Compact Environments, LANCE, developed by Lockheed and the Air Force Research Laboratory, the Strafe Control System, devised by Northrop Grumman, and the Laser Pod Research and Development Container, under development by Boeing. Instead of using volatile chemicals like earlier lasers, LANCE employs fiber optic cables to merge beams of light together to generate beams with tens of kilowatts of power. Its modular design allows power levels to be scaled by removing or adding modules. It is described as especially efficient, able to transform 40% of its energy to output. LANCE still needs to be ruggedized to survive at high altitudes and speeds, and miniaturized to fit in a pod that can prevent thermal buildup from cooking the aircraft and manage the necessary electrical loads.
I see. So that's probably why at the moment the main discussions for its deployment are with the AC-130J Ghost Rider gunship, because that's quite a bulky aircraft. So, it has the capacity for adding such a still quite a large unit to its frame, whereas putting it on something like a F-35, which is just so sleek, you know, or an F-22 or an F-16, it's just unfeasible as of right now. Officially, of course, who knows what's being worked on at the moment by DARPA, you know, and the likes of.
In fact, the latest F-35 Block 4 upgrade program includes upgraded engines that can generate more electricity, likely with direct energy integration in mind. In January 2019, the Air Force Research Laboratory also issued a notice for a 6-month study called Compact High Energy Laser Subsystem Engineering Assessment, CHELSI, to identify most promising technology options to scale laser power by 2024. The more powerful CHELSI laser may eventually replace Self-Protect High Energy Laser Demonstrator and would be more suitable for offensive applications. Slides from an Air Force PowerPoint presentation obtained by The Drive in 2017 indicate the Air Force would like an internal or conformal laser mount, that is, one that hugs the airframe without compromising the aerodynamic and radar stealth characteristics for its upcoming 6th-generation fighters. It also indicated plans to integrate enough power management capabilities to support weapons with over 100 kilowatt power for anti-air and surface targets.
Wow, 100 kilowatts. That is a ton of power, man. Goodness me. 100 kilowatts, that's a few houses worth of power in terms of daily use. Or unless I've got my numbers wrong. Like, let me know. I think 100 kilowatts, that's at least 4 houses a day in terms of power usage.
A third program involves the development of a laser-armed stealth drone designed to discreetly loiter over a hostile ballistic missile site in order to zap nuclear-tipped missiles during the boost phase. Earlier in 2010, the Air Force successfully tested a modified 747 jumbo jet armed with chemical oxygen iodine laser to shoot down 2 ballistic missile targets, but the project was subsequently canceled because such an unstealthy plane would not be survivable in hostile airspace. The concept of using F-35s with directed energy weapons for—
Man, that front shot, god damn, I mean, that's a beautiful plane.
Anti-ballistic missile patrols is also being explored, though the idea may be impractical due to the limited loitering ability of the short-range stealth fighter. A stealth drone could address both the need for survivability and long endurance. In the fall of 2018, the Missile Defense Agency handed out contracts ranging from $29 to $37 million to Lockheed Martin, General Atomics, and Boeing to develop a low-powered laser demonstrator. The slow-moving drone must be able to transit 1,900 miles to a target location, then orbit the area at up to 63,000 feet high for 36 hours before returning to base. It must also have sufficient battery to sustain up to 30 minutes of 140 to 280 kilowatt laser fire. The United States is not in planning for integration of aerial lasers in the 2021s and 2030s. The Franco-German Future Combat Air System, British Tempest stealth fighter programs, and the Russian MiG-41 interceptor have explicitly claimed in their program materials the conceptual aircraft will be built to support directed energy weapons. Furthermore, the Japanese
I cannot wait to see some official, 6th generation footage in action. Like I saw a video of the Tempest, which is the British 6th generation fighter, and my god, that thing looks amazing. Its helmet apparently is capable of reading the thoughts and emotions, this isn't bullshit, of the pilot. Honestly, go watch the video. If you type in Tempest 6th generation, you'll find the video. It's insane.
F-3 and the Typhoon's engines will also include a turbo generator to create and manage additional electricity, quite likely to power directed energy weapons.
Crazy. Just imagine seeing this in real life. that would be insane. Man, we're living in the future. I mean, laser weapons, it's just, it just blows my mind what, you know, science and technology are capable of producing these days. Considering, you know, 20 years ago, we had phones, mobile phones with no color screens. I think that was like the Nokia 3210. Just compared to what we have now, the technology is just rapidly innovating. You know, just imagine in the next 10 years what we'll be seeing. It's exciting times for sure. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, turn on bell notifications, and keep throwing the recommendations my way. I know I say it all the time, but they genuinely help me out, because if I know you enjoyed watching something, I'll definitely enjoy reacting to it. So like, subscribe, turn on bell notifications, keep throwing the recommendations, and I'll catch you in the next one.